50% of the world's crude oil, said they'll cut production by some 1.4 million barrels per day from the start of next year. But not all members of the cartel are happy about this. Nigeria and Angola both wanted to raise production rather than cut it. Well, let's go live to Vienna now, where the OPEC meetings take place. Cornelia Meyer is there, Chief Executive of Meyer Resources. Cornelia, always lovely to see you. So just talk us through these announcements. Were you expecting these new cuts to come?
I was expecting them, and the cuts as of next year are basically rolling over the cuts that were announced in April this year. And I was expecting Saudi to do something drastic to just support the price. And it's a little bit akin to what we saw with the debt ceiling deal. They said, okay, let's not just go half a year to half a year. Let's extend this through 2024 so traders and consumers and producers have some visibility of what's going on for a little bit of a longer time.
Talk us through the relationship within OPEC Plus, because this was a very fractious meeting, wasn't it?
Well, it was not an easy meeting because essentially there was a coming to Jesus, coming to terms time. When you look at the quotas and what was actually produced, if you take the IHS Platts movement numbers, they missed the quotas by about the group as a whole by about 2.5 million barrels a day. So some countries had really been lagging in terms of what they were doing with the quota. So at some stage, something's got to give, and you need to adjust the baseline to be a little bit closer to reality. That is never an easy thing to do.
But for Saudi Arabia, I mean, their aim is, as you say, to push up the price of oil. It has gone up a bit in reaction to these latest announcements. It's still below $80 a barrel, which is what the IMF says Saudi Arabia needs to see oil prices at in order to fund its huge, ambitious economic restructuring within its own country.
Yes, that's true. That's what the IMF says. It's always difficult to make these predictions for what a national budget needs in order to fund its project. So that's where the IMF stands. But I think that more than just where Saudi Arabia wants to see the oil, it was also giving predictability, giving visibility, and stopping wild oscillations. Because if the oil price oscillates too much, it will be very hard to attract investment. And the OPEC member countries are quite concerned about the lacking investment into the sector, which, given that we have 2 billion people more by 2050, and they're in Africa and they're in South Asia, where you still will need oil to grow and get people into the middle class out of poverty, they're really concerned about that. And I think it has to be seen also in that context of giving stability and trying to foster investment in the sector.
OK, Cornelia, we appreciate your analysis. Good to talk to you. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much, Sally.
You're welcome. Cornelia Meyer there. Well, let's look at oil prices now and see what's happening at the moment. Just have a quick check in. So you can see that Brent crude is up just over 1%, trading at $76.96 a barrel. Light crude is up 1.3%, again, just nearly $73 a barrel. So they've not hit that target of $80 a barrel in terms of Saudi Arabia. So we're keeping a close eye on markets. You can see share markets in Asia really strong. That is because of the debt ceiling